Shops looted, a car set on fire, street signs and lampposts vandalised.
Corey Worthington. Teenager holds an alcohol-fuelled party for hundreds of kids while his unsuspecting parents are on holiday.
I will say sorry now for everything that happened.
Why don't you take your glasses off so we can see you? And then apologise to your neighbours for frightening them.
Nah, I'll leave these on. Nah, I like them.
I welcomed Rod into my house and he threw a lemon through my neighbour's window.
G'day everyone, welcome to Flogs, where the podcast that asks, is it okay to smack a disabled 50-something-year-old guy with a spanner if he sexually assaulted your new girlfriend during a drug deal? So, our guest today is the reason that me, Flan, spent all my time at uni, at the tavern and not in the library. He's my old colleague and one of the most genuine, generous people you'll meet. He was voted Life of the Party 2024 and 2025 Beer and Brewer Awards. He's been in the brewing industry for 24 years, self-proclaimed and proclaimed by us, Party Flog, Broadley.
Thanks for having me, lads.
Broadley.
G'day, Craig Newman.
How are you?
Very well, thanks. Now, our podcast is not for kids. Kids, if you happen to be listening,
stop fucking listening or I'll fucking kill you.
Sage advice there from Craig Newman.
My daughter came across the YouTube, one of the YouTube videos, and was like, oh, that looks like my dad. And I heard what you said. I was like, oh, what did I say? She said, fuck off, you little cunts.
Wow. Okay. All right. So today we are talking Party Flogs. I just wanted to ask you, Broadley, just as like a little introduction, can you tell us about a time when you were a complete flog?
It's not one situation where I was a complete flog because there's lots of those, but it's every time that I've just said something absolutely inappropriate while I've been drinking, and you wake up in the morning and go, why the fuck did I do that? Like a few weeks ago, I was at a party and a mate was there and he was introducing his new girlfriend, and without me thinking, I'm like, oh, hi to his new girlfriend. I'm like, oh, so how'd you go with this other chick that you were trying to hook up with last time I saw you? And I was just like,
oh, no.
That was a bit of a flog move.
Yeah.
That's very funny. I once welcomed Rod into my house, into my home as a esteemed guest, and he threw a lemon through my neighbour's window.
And I can give you a bit of advice about that, Broadley, is what I used to do when I used to drink, because I don't drink, I'm so man these days. But when I used to drink, you just drink so much that you can't remember the stupid shit that you said.
What do you mean? Everyone still reminds you.
Yeah, but like I don't remember doing it.
So therefore I take no accountability.
Exactly. That's it.
That's really good advice, kids.
Yeah. No, it's not. Nah.
Between that and teaching people how to shoplift, you're doing well, Flan. Great role model.
And just remember, no amount of alcohol is considered safe. And if you have kids, don't give them alcohol. I saw that on an ad once. Okay, so the first Party Flogs story that I'm going to tell you all about is Project X Haren. So it's an event. It started out as a public invitation to a birthday party by a girl on Facebook. So in 2012, a girl invited 70-odd friends, 78, in fact. Wow, imagine having 78 friends. I literally have like 2. This girl invited 78 friends on Facebook, but she made it public because she wanted her friends to be able to invite some of their friends if she wanted to. But one of her friends was a bit of a flog and he invited 500 people. So she fucked up.
Imagine that's 500 friends is more than 78 friends.
Wow, true, actually. Yeah. Although, like, I don't know, remember when, you're first on Facebook and you've got like hundreds of friends on Facebook because you add like every single person you've ever met in your life. And then you look back and you go, wow, I've had quite a life. Yeah? Did you get that, Broadley?
All the time.
Thought so.
I have lived a life.
After he invited those 500 people, that triggered a snowball effect, and thousands of people were then added to it. So in 2 days, 16,000 people were invited. Then after the girl spoke to her parents about it, she deleted the event. Like, your daughter comes up to you and goes, there's 16,000 people being invited to my birthday. Is that going to be okay?
We're right with that.
No, it's fucking not going to be okay.
Cancel
Delete
that
the
right now.
Exactly. But people copied the event, and these two people created an event called it Project X Haren, and the dad of the birthday girl asked them to cancel the event, but they didn't.
That's a pretty floggy thing to do.
Yep. So within a week, 24,000 people were invited and 2,400 had accepted. The girls' parents distributed a letter in their neighbourhood to warn residents of their concerns. The letter quickly appeared on the internet, and everyone saw that letter on the internet and were respectful and didn't attend. So that's the end of that story. Nah, just kidding. No, that didn't happen. The local police agreed to act if the party escalated, but by then the rumours had spread to the national media. 55,000 people had been invited, 6,000 accepted. At least they know how many to expect. Like,
Yeah, right.
Well, at this point, don't you take your lemons and make lemonade and set up an alcoholic lemonade stand out the front and at least make some money from it?
Oh, yes, true. So the expected attendance grew from 8,000 to 30,000, and then 400,000 tweets were sent regarding Project X.
400,000
tweets, yeah.
And everyone rocked up at this girl's house. How?
Sorry, yeah. So anyway, so they closed the neighborhood because the family felt unsafe because of all the people that were gathering on the street. And so they went to the person's aunt's house. A few hundred people had travelled to Haren. Number of visitors appeared to be diminishing towards the beginning of the evening, but around 7:30, thousands of youths poured in. And around 9 o'clock, the riots started. So at 9:30, riot control was commissioned. 11 o'clock, backup police officers arrived. 36 rioters and 15 policemen injured. Nearby hospitals reported cuts, head injuries and bruises, and an elderly man was assaulted in his home and badly injured. 500 police commissioned, of which 250 were riot control.
Yeah, right. So do we have a number
Yeah.
of how many people actually rocked up, or just thousands?
Thousands. Some people got arrested and shit. Did things, and they released some CCTV footage, identified some of the people. 12 riders got sentenced to imprisonment and community service. And that was that. So we might go to you first, Broadly. And how do you rate on the Flogometer the birthday girl?
Birthday girl gets a low flog rating. She tried to do the right thing. Things got out of hand that were out of her control. All she forgot to do was make an event private. Like, you can't hold that against her. There's bigger flogs in this picture than the birthday girl.
Yeah, who was 15 turning 16.
So this birthday girl whose party it was, how much, give her a number broadly in the flog rating out of 1,000.
I'm going to go a massive 10.
It's out of 10.
Oh, why is she such
Wow, you're a monster.
We usually save that to people like Hitler and Jimmy Savile.
Yeah,
Just you wait,
like Donald Trump.
Newman, you'll get yours.
All right, what about you, Craig Newman? How do you rate what about the two guys that refused to call the party off?
I don't know, 4. That's
okay,
having a bit of a laugh.
Anyway, that inspired movies.
What movie? Freaky
what
Friday?
Else? Yep.
300.
Beethoven 2, So that was that story. Okay, so now we're going to go to our backyard. Before we do get into our next story, which is Naughty Corey Worthington, did want to ask you, Broadly, who do you think is the biggest flog?
Well,
10 out of 10.
I don't. 10 out of 10. Definitely Craig Newman.
Hey.
Knew it. Yeah.
It's all right. That's getting axed.
So, Corey Worthington. When Corey Worthington was 16, he threw an out-of-control party at his parents' Narrawarren home while his mum and stepfather were holidaying on the Gold Coast. So he put out an open invitation on MySpace, which led to more than 500 people coming along. A riot broke out as revellers pelted police with broken bottles, damaging cars and property, and it was only brought under control after more than 30 officers, the dog squad, and the police helicopter descended on the party and closed it down. So it made him like a hero among his mates, but what really made him blow up was his interview with The Current Affair, when he was standing there with his yellow sunglasses, bright yellow hair with a floral cap, and refused to take responsibility. She tried to get him to take his glasses off, and he said no. He said, nah, I'll leave these on. I like them. And he did say sorry, but he also said, I can't be exactly blamed for everything that happened. It wasn't in the house. It was out on the street, and I didn't do it. The police said they... What's that?
Sorry, I just find it so good. That interview was so good. When I first heard the story, I was like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Saw pictures of him, like, absolute fucking idiot. Saw that interview and I was like, he's amazing.
Do you want to know the funniest thing about his sunnies? Was I think it was Zoo Magazine offered him something stupid like $2,000 or $5,000 for his sunnies, but they were just cheap servo sunnies. So he went down to the servo, bought another pair, sent them to him, got his money, and kept his original sunnies.
That's so good. That's genius.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe Flogs isn't the right spot to talk about him. Maybe we need to start another podcast called Legends.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see. Okay. So he said, no, I'll leave him on. I like him. And then the interviewer was like, take off your glasses. So basically he was like, look, I'll say sorry, but I'm not taking off my glasses. Like, good on him. It's a good boundary.
No, that's it. That's exactly right. He was demonstrating good boundaries.
He was. And then if you see in the outtakes, he started singing, please stop. I don't like that.
What the fuck are you doing?
That's just a boundary song.
I don't know.
You guys can use that.
I don't know what that was.
So that happened. And he basically then in 2018, so we're talking like 10 years after the wild party, he told The Fix he'd spent a decade trying to live up to his wild reputation. Said it's been a great ride, and that's a role that he was chucked into, and he owned it as much as he could. He also got tattoos on his fingers that say "not sorry."
How many fingers does he have? Not sorry. Oh yeah, no, that works.
Yeah, checks out.
Corey.
So in 2021, he featured in a television advertisement spruiking an insurance company. And then when he was 31, he pleaded guilty to attacking a man confined to a mobility scooter with a spanner.
Well, that's probably more of a flog thing to do.
Well,
I shouldn't laugh.
I don't know. We don't have both sides of the story there.
Well, look, I'll tell you the other side of the story from the mouths of the one side of the story, the news article that I got it from, that wasn't written by Corey. So he bashed a man on a mobility scooter, but says there's a good reason why he did it. So attacked his victim, believed to be in his 50s, in January. Worthington claimed his new girlfriend was sexually assaulted during a drug deal in Victoria's South. So Worthington... Is that funny to you? Is it, Craig Newman?
That whole situation is very funny to me.
I know.
My drug dealer, who's confined to a wheelchair, sexually assaulted my new girlfriend, so I had to sort him out with a spanner. That's just poetry.
I know. So Worthing demanded to speak to Pete, who he claimed had touched his missus on the breast without consent.
You gotta ask her, Pete. You gotta fucking ask her. She'll let you. You just fucking ask her.
It's called manners, Pete.
Consent.
Fuck.
Yeah, so he was asked to leave and the housemate phoned 000. Then on his way out, picked up a large shifter and smashed the rear driver's side window of a car parked in the driveway.
Oh, so he didn't smash the guy in the wheelchair with the spanner.
Oh, wait. You just wait. So then the CCTV caught him walk up and down the street as he interrogated neighbours as to the whereabouts of Pete. He told neighbours that his...
Did he just come from Pete's house where Pete was in there? Oh, no, was Pete not there? It was his house.
Nah, Pete wasn't home. Yeah.
Right.
So then apparently he told neighbours that his girlfriend bought weed off Pete and repeated claims of her sexual assault. So Worthington said that he was going to smash Pete when he caught up with him. And then he left in a BMW with the distinctive number plates NT sorry. I think it was a Northern Territory number plate.
Sounds like it, yeah.
In his BMW, he's like, I'm going to smash Pete. So he does that. And then he saw Pete driving his mobility scooter along the service lane of the Prince's Highway. Fang. Minding his own fucking business. So then he approached Pete, punched him in the face, and struck his scooter with the spanner before leaving. And led to Pete getting a blood nose and being taken to Geelong Hospital by ambulance.
For a blood nose.
Yeah. And then he broke the key off in the man's mobility scooter and damaged the storage box. So during his record of interview, he claimed that Pete sexually assaulted her after she bought cannabis. So he went to grope her on the boobs. She pushed him away and he goes, I'm going to RAPE you. And she just ran out. He told police.
Unfortunate that she could spell. Otherwise, she'd be like, sure. Don't know what that is.
Yeah. High five. Like, yeah. Going to salute you, congratulate you on the purchase of your 50 bag of weed. He cracked it, got in the car, went to confront the guy. Anyways, he started accusing her of all this stuff. And then I was just like, bang, just shut up. And I hit him. I already wanted to hit him, but I wanted to also talk to him. I've got a daughter too. I tried to keep my cool, but knowing you did wrong and now you're throwing this, he said. So struggled with his notoriety as a teenager. And then Mr. Bentley, who was like the magistrate or the judge or whatever, was like, yeah, I think I remember him. The yellow glasses.
Yes. Yeah, well, there you go. That's like, I mean, obviously you can't go around punching people in the face, but that's...
Yeah.
It's not that bad. I thought you were going to say he's like staved his head in with a shifter.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. That's where I thought it was going to with the headline, but that's why you can never trust the news.
Never trust
listeners. Now, what I do want to add is Worthington's lawyer during court said he's been trying to get his life in order over the past 10 years and get away from the media circus that engulfed him. And then he started on Ninja Warrior. Yeah. So if that's not trying to escape media attention, I don't know what it is.
He's trying to lay low.
Well, look, let's be real. No one gives a fuck about Australian Ninja Warrior. So
no one watches Dancing with the Stars either.
Was he on Dancing with the Stars?
Was he on Dancing with the Stars?
We could
Put a
say
petition to get him on
we
Dancing
could
with the
say he was
Stars.
on Dancing with the Stars. No one is gonna like if you said who was on the second season of Dancing with the Stars, everyone would be like,
True, yeah. No one's going to know or care. And also, because remember, he was on Farmer Wants a Wife when he was living on the farm.
He was on The Bachelor, but didn't get a rose in the first round.
So, yeah, anyway. Then Worthington accepted he had overreacted, and then he was apologetic, and he's tried to get out of the media circus. Got put on a 6-month good behaviour bond. Before he let him go, the magistrate suggested he find new number plates for his car. And then Worthington said, I never wanted those plates. I was given those plates by the Department of Transport after I paid them $3,000. Wait, no, he didn't say that last bit. Like, I didn't want those plates. Like, when I was sitting there screwing them onto the car, I thought it was going to be so dumb.
Can we confirm that he said not sorry when he was in court?
No, I don't think he did. Because he wouldn't say that if you're in court. He'd say, sorry, just so he'd get off, I reckon.
Well, maybe he went, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, true, yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
Done. Yep, that's it. So, on another article, there was obviously a Corey Worthington sympathiser. They said this in 2025 and said that he was in his early 30s and living a much quieter life than the one that made him famous. He still posts on Instagram and attends events under the moniker Not Sorry Entertainment. He has a reputation as a down-to-earth guy who turned a major mistake into an opportunity, something many Australians can appreciate.
Yeah,
we love our naughty party boy.
We do. He's the Ned Kelly of Australia.
Yep. Okay, so that was Naughty Corey Worthington. Let's go. You, Craig Newman. How do you rate Corey Worthington on the Flogometer?
2. I'm a Corey Worthington fan. I think he's hilarious.
All right. Well, let's see if we can get him on. Corey, if you're listening and you could just reach out, then please do.
We'll wait.
We'll wait.
Oh, wait. We got
to
release it. Okay. We won't wait right now.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to disagree with you here, Mr. Newman, and I'm going to say that Corey Worthington is an all-around massive flog.
More.
Wow. Okay. I like this.
Big call.
Like there is good drunken shenanigans and there is massive spanner drunken shenanigans, and he's in the massive spanner category.
Well, but he didn't do it. It was in the street.
True. And he did say sorry.
Yeah, but unlike the other ones who just had an accidental public party, he actually organised for everyone to come and wanted to have a massive party.
But he did say sorry.
No, he said Northern Territory sorry.
Yeah.
No, he did. In the interview, he went, sorry.
He said, I'll say sorry, but I'm not taking my glasses off.
Yeah, so there you go. That counts.
Imagine if he took his glasses off or he wasn't wearing the glasses in the first place. It would just be no one.
Yeah, no. If that interview didn't go the way it did, he would have been like, nah, what a flog. And there wouldn't be none of this continued, like, notoriety. He wouldn't be known. And it just wouldn't have been anything. Everyone would have forgotten about it. Just some dumb idiot in Narre Warren had a party, got out of hand. It was on the news.
They do. See, look, I don't know. I've got mixed feelings about Corey Worthington because, look, I appreciate that someone shouldn't be judged by one event where they bludgeoned a disabled guy in a wheelchair to death with a spanner.
Nah, see, I'm all for that. And this, like, making it sound worse by saying they're disabled, like, you're just bludgeoning someone, man. Stop seeing them for their disability.
Yeah. His hand was pretty able when it grabbed his partner's boob, didn't it? Yeah. Very able-handed.
Pretty fine then.
His penis was very able when it Got it
When
right.
it snaked its way into his hand while he was grabbing her boob.
Snaked its way. Snaked its fucking way. All right, cool. We were made aware of a flyer that Broadley's partner received in her letterbox, and there's a photo of a man naked with is it like a picture over the penis area?
Yeah, I think it's a monkey with its hands over its eyes.
And then underneath it's got Christopher drug dealer in brackets Denmark Street. And then it says, Chris will hook your kids on meth, make them SUCK his DRC.
It says, Chris will hook your kids on meth, make them suck his dick, then chemically castrate them as part of a LGBTQTI rehab therapy. And then it has the Neighborhood Watch and Sexual Health Awareness logos.
So obviously Christopher has upset someone and someone's been putting it in other people's letterboxes. Maybe we should share this on our socials as well, but with the picture blanked out.
Yeah, because we don't know the story behind this. I don't think it's legit.
I don't think it is either. I don't think Christopher's endorsed this flyer at all.
Either that or he's advertising.
Yeah, well, that's it can be kids like, well, if I was on Denmark Street, I'd be like, well, I know where to get my drugs from now. I probably wouldn't send the kids to pick them up, though. Yeah, well, I'm glad he fleshed that out because I can't be bothered walking down, and kids.
Uber parcel.
I go for a walk. So,
it's just
kids, can you go down to Denmark Street for me and pick something up from Chris? But don't suck his dick and don't do any meth.
And do not agree to be chemically castrated either.
Yeah, that's right.
Interesting world we live in. Yeah. Yeah. Also, if you found out that there was a drug dealer living up the road who you've obviously received photos of him naked,
and then you've basis with,
and you've let him be unsupervised with your kids long enough to make them suck his dick and get hooked on meth, I reckon you should be questioning your parenting just as much as Christopher's.
Yeah, there's a few things about this that raise some red flags.
Yeah. And then by the time it gets to the point where Christopher's chemically castrating them.
Oh, is he doing it himself?
Well, yeah, it says chemically castrate them as part of a LGBTQTI rehab therapy. So if you are enrolling your kid into Christopher's LGBTQTI rehab therapy, don't. Well, good job, everyone. So before we close it up, Broadly, do you have anyone to nominate for Flog of the Week?
And don't say Craig Newman again.
Craig Newman again? No, I'd like to nominate a group of people, not just one person. And it's those pricks who go out just to have fights. If you're out drinking, having a good time, and someone just all of a sudden wants to start a fight, it just ruins the whole vibe, ruins everyone's night. Stop doing it. You're a fucking flog.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen to that. Yep, yeah. I completely agree.
But you know why people do that though, bro? It's because they want to get their shirt off and get close to another man, but they're so insecure about their sexuality that it comes out as anger. So
if you want to get your shirt off and close to a man, go to the beach.
Yeah, well, just
go to Craig Newman at flogspodcast.com.
How funny if some guy's trying to fight you and you just dropped your knees and started unbuckling his belt saying, give me that
dick. You dropped to your knees. What's the guy gonna do? Be there confused.
just think about it for a second. Be like,
Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah, good. I actually do have one. If you wanted to hear it. No, you don't. You don't.
Yeah,
want to
no,
hear it.
come on. Give it to
Okay.
us. Flog of the week.
Actually, I've got 3.
Huh.
First one is I was going to nominate my wife for getting COVID, but
Yeah,
she's
you've
got
said it now.
COVID, so I don't want to make her feel.
I don't want to say
dirty.
she's a flog or
Crap
anything,
enough.
but if I was nominating a flog of the week, it would be my wife. But I'm not going to say that. But
Yeah,
if I was
Love you.
going to
Love you,
nominate a
babe.
flog that I know is an absolute flog, and if I had a tomahawk, I would split her head open. But I'm not going to say it.
yeah. So my other 2. Firstly, 7-Eleven for selling day-old donuts at the end of the day at full price. Now, I don't know if you guys have bought donuts from 7-Eleven late at night.
They got
They're
the
not
Krispy
pretty.
Kremes.
Yeah.
I have much better things to do with my life than buy donuts from 7-Eleven late at
And
night.
Also, why are you buying donuts
Man.
late at night from a 7-Eleven?
Because there's
Why are
one
you
near my
buying-
house. So
At night, I do like me 11:30 p.m. donut.
yeah, but I usually get like a 4-pack and eat like 4 donuts. The other flog that I want to nominate on the back of that is myself for paying full price for day-old donuts from 7-Eleven. Yeah.
Well, it's not like they'll let you just squeeze them for freshness before you buy them.
Oh, by the time you get them late at
not like
night, a few people have squeezed them for freshness.
Yeah, they're not like a tit at a drug deal, mate. You can't just go around squeezing them.
Well, let's wind it up. Thanks so much, Broadley, for joining us. Thanks for joining us too, Craig Noonan.
Well,
Thanks for having me, legends.
No worries.
Bradley.
Thanks for listening, listeners. If you want to help us grow, please give us a 5-star review on Spotify. See you in 2 weeks for another episode of Flogs. Bye. Broad just waved.
Bye.